I'm here to read to you again. In fact, I like to read all the time. My little sign here says, read every day. I bet you're reading at your houses every day. Well, some of the books I love to read all the time are by Dr. Seuss. So far we've read a couple together. This is another one of my favorite Dr. Seuss stories. It's called The Sneetches. This book is actually a little longer because it's called The Sneetches and Other Stories by Dr. Seuss. So there's actually a collection of stories in here, but we're going to do The Sneetches, which is the first story. And look, we even have a Sneetch visiting us today. So, let's read it together. The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. It says, now the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, we're the best kind of Sneetches on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with that plain-bellied sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. Is that very kind? That is not kind at all. Look, how do you think they feel? Look at their faces. Oh, they do look sad. Yeah, I'd feel sad too. When the star-bellied children are out to play ball, could a plain belly get in a game? Not at all. You only could play if your belly had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. Oh, look. I think they're sad again. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they had never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Oh my goodness, they were kind for a very long time. Then one day it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. My friends, he announced in a voice clear and keen, my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that, I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed. Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. He said, you want stars like the star-bellied Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard. So they clambered inside, and then the big machine roared. And it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them around, but the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars. Oh, they actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they'd yell at the ones who had stars at the start. We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankfurter parties. Good grief, groaned the ones who had stars at the first. We're still the best Sneetches and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned. If which kind is what, or the other way round? Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. Wink. And he said, things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That's perfectly true, but come with me, friends, you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with their snoots in the air they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without. Then of course those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then of course old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then of course from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day on those wild screaming beaches, that fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again, through the machines they raced round and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. They're getting all mixed up. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. I think he just wanted their money. What do you think? Was he really trying to help them? I don't think so. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon theirs. Oh look, so does it really matter if you have a star or not? No, it doesn't really matter. You know, God made us all unique and special, kind of like colors in a rainbow. If a rainbow was only red, or just all blue, or just all purple, would it be very pretty? No. What makes it special, it has all those different colors, all coming together to make it beautiful, just like us. God makes us each unique and different, so that when we come together, we make a beautiful rainbow. And look, those Sneetches. They just learned a valuable lesson. It's okay to be different. In fact, it's part of what makes us who we are. That's a pretty good story. Ba-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum. Boop. The Sneetches.